We've been hearing there is generational gap, there is generational gap. What happened that there is a gap between how the elders walk with God and how the present generation in general see God and walk with God. We were somewhere in a state house and talking on what is going on. And one of the man of God said, when because he was our president when we were in NYS, So he said, and my husband was there, so we're all there talking and looking at the things that are happening. And he said, in our own time, we sought for God, we seek after God, we run after God. But we've come to the time where God is looking for and running after. Looking and running after us. But we need to look at what happened. Like in the book of Haggai chapter 2, the temple is built. The elders are crying. The younger ones are rejoicing. They are celebrating. The elders are crying because they saw the former glory. But the younger ones, they were not there. They don't know how it happened before. So what they have built now, to them it is perfect. This is how it should be. So they are rejoicing in it. And the elders are crying. We are elders. When we got born again, what happened? How did we grow? And what happened that we have generational gap now? What happened? And these are areas that we need to look at because we know that right now it is alarming things that are happening. Alarming, both inside church, that the desolation spoken of in the book of Daniel is inside church. Inside church. What happened that we've gotten to the point where we are right now? Because then we cannot connect again to looking at foundation. And that foundation is how did we get so hungry for God, walk with God? You're able to sit down for hours, listening to ministration, sitting down praying. You are fasting on your own. Nobody is, you are clapping your hands to sing. You're not waiting for anybody to beat drums and all that, And you are one that is seeking God. What happened that today is difficult to have, the younger ones sit down in one place for long. And it's like we're also accepting it and saying, their capacity to sit down is not there and all that. So what will happen in another 10 years? What will happen in another 10 years? Even if you look at the kind of pastors being produced now, what will happen to what is called church in another 10 years? So we are looking at now generational gap between those that are elders, that walk with God, sought God, learn about God, passion for God, fire for God, and all that, where you take your pocket money, you go to buy your Dex Bible, you take your pocket money, so for outreach, you get your pocket money, you rather go hungry to see that you get those cassettes to listen to messages. Oh my goodness. You go through that. And that time, even those that are close to you are saying, your own is too much. And you are called Holy Mary. And you are still here. How did you make it? And I expect us to have questions. I'm waiting to see questions come up. How did we make it? That is it. Because we're talking about sustaining. How has God been able to sustain you? What are your testimonies of that sustenance? And why is it that today, maybe we can take it one after the other. But this is just to open up so that we can discuss. Why we have this generational gap? What is happening? How? What happened? Because now we know God is giving us solution. But we need to look at where we are coming from. What happened? How were you able to still stand and still passionately talk about God today? And still sit down, still sitting down, still listening, still praying. While you are standing, you are praying. The ones that are 20 years, they are sitting down. Right? While you are moving around to preach, you preach, come back and all that. The younger ones are looking for Indomie. So you look at what is going on, we cannot completely blame them. So something went wrong. And we know changing times. So how do we look at this? Like I'm adding so many questions to questions. So anyone can just answer, please. Let's just have this discussion to look at. I've asked several questions. You can just pick one of it, and let's just look at it.